Okay. Everything should be smooth. Everything's gone smoothly, I think. Right. Hi guys, I'm Calamity Joe. Welcome back to a new Minecraft YouTube live stream on the Calamity Joe YouTube channel. I've just found my best bow. Huh. Fantastic. Yeah, welcome to the stream. So, hello Mono Joe. Thank you. Very odd comment. I suppose there are worse names you could call someone. I won't stop, will I? Sorry? No, I know it's you, Duffel. I know it's you, Duffel. I know it's you. It's what you commented. I won't stop, will I? It doesn't make sense. Bad day then. No. I just read your comment didn't make sense when I read it. No, it's just a bit of an odd name to call someone, like Mono Joe. But as I said, I suppose there's probably worse names you could call someone. But your new name is Mono Joe. No, it's not. Mono Brow Joe. It doesn't have a very nice ring to it though. When you create a name for someone, it's got to sound good. It doesn't really sound good. Clement Joe with a long brow. Still doesn't sound good. In fact, that just sounds worse, to be honest. In fact, that sounds worse. Like, for example, your name's Duffel Bear. Would it sound the same if it was Duffel Dog or something like that? Or, I don't know, Duffel Cat? Names, when you name something, it's got to have a nice rhythm to it. It's got to have like a nice rhythm to it. So, for example, with your YouTube name, Duffel Bear sounds good. It wouldn't sound the same if it was Duffel Cat. So, Calamity Brow doesn't has some sort of rhythm to it, but not the same. How is everybody on this stream? My Discord server is giving me notifications. Oh, it's just saying that I've started the stream, which is nice. How is everybody on this stream? How is everybody on this stream today? Oh, pardon me. How is everybody? Ooh. Sorry, I can't stop burping. Yeah. We're gonna want to go around. I'm gonna need some more food. So we're gonna have to walk. We're gonna have to walk slowly. going to have to go home. But I'm having to go home slowly because I don't want to die of hunger. So I'm going to do a full test. Both HDMIs are working. Can't get the sound. You can't get the sound. Is it picking it up but they're not playing it? What sound are you trying to get, Egg? Because sometimes it can be... It depends. So it's picking the sound up. I would go into your site if it's picking it up. If the capture card's picking the sound up, I would then go into OBS. Do you have OBS open? Because if I have OBS closed, if I have a capture card in, I can't hear the sound if OBS isn't open. But then as soon as you put OBS on, the sound. So with my capture card, if I don't have it fully works. The sound in OBS doesn't work. So is the sounds working in OBS? Because that's what I have. My sound doesn't work when I don't have OBS on. It could be in your settings then. I don't actually know. I need to grab my laptop charger, guys. The wire fell down. Stuck. Oh, bollocks. It's got caught around the wardrobe handle. That's not good. Right, shove that into charge now. It pops up in the audio meter but shows no sound. I don't know. I have the same thing with desktop audio. So if I join a Discord VC and then want to pick up the audio in there, I can't do it. I have no idea. Ooh. How is everybody on this stream? I do apologise we haven't streamed in the last 2 days. I have had that, but I don't remember how I fixed it. I'm sorry. I apologise, guys. There's been no streams in recent days. I went for a long walk. I went for a long walk on Wednesday. And tired myself out. I did a load of stuff yesterday, and then had to do some stuff like cut the grass, so I could not stream. Cool. Good luck. Ooh. Actually, that's where we need to go. We need to go this way. Yeah, so I apologise there's been no streams in recent days, guys. Ooh. I will quickly just pause the stream and open up a window because it is very warm in here. I'm hoping there's no creepers across here because there was the other day. I can hear a spider, but I can't see one. That's so bizarre. I'm just going to mute the mic for 2 seconds. Right, I'm back. I am back, everybody. Sorry, I just had to go and mute the mic. Sorry, I had to go and open a window because this room is boiling. Let's go and get some. Does that have mending on it? That would be good if we got mending on the bow. Yeah, if we could quickly go and get some more XP levels, that would be a splendid idea on our part over here. So come on. Hello. Might as well wait for this thing to fill up a minute. As I say, it would have been nice if we could have had more than one spider. There's 2 more. Let's just let this build up for a moment then. I'm going to quickly it's very warm, guys. Right, let's just let this let's let this. Oh, good. The more XP levels we can get from this, the better. The more we get, the better. They just... There we go. Oh, hello. You want to attack me, do you? We'll take a sword. Come on. So, we picked up a load of bits and bops. That's something we can do in a sec, actually. If I go put... Hello, Super Boris Word Maya. Welcome to this stream. Just making sure there's none left. Right, okay. let's see how many. I have a Discord notification. Now we can leave here. And we can focus on something else. Do we? Oh, I left them. We can go and find some more though. Oh, actually, no. I left them over there. Basically, we've been struggling. Our sheep farm that we built last year, everything despawned twice. So whilst we've been rebuilding it, I've sort of. I thought it was rather clever. I don't know if people agree with me, of course. I noticed something. Might as well go and check if we got any like materials in the walls here. We already had a bit of iron on us, so it might as well. Whoa, hold on. I mean, we could use something. We can use this iron for something. I'm going to place some stone here. Alright, come on. Good. So. If you're watching this, we're trying to go to the sheep farm. But as we've been heading here, I've sort of noticed a lot of iron in the walls. I can't read your. I know it's Egg that's commented, but I can't read the comment. You got it to work, by the way. Cool. What did you do out of curiosity? Ooh, iron. Hello Levi Crawl, welcome to the stream. It was because my headset was plugged into my controller. Ah. Interesting. How are you? I'm really good. How are you? I'm good. That's good to see. That's good to hear, I mean. Right. We're gathering a lot of iron from here. Zootopia. What am I doing? I'm actually going to the sheep farm. It just happens to be that we're trying to head there, but I've taken a long time getting here because I stopped to go and get iron from. I found a lot of iron in the walls, so I stopped to get that to obtain the iron from the walls. There we go. Right. All our sheep. I do have an itchy nose. I do apologize. So Henry, Wally, Gary, Ed, Roxwood, Walter, Morgan. Where's the other guy? Ron. Where's Walter? Did I already go past Walter? I did. Right. Come get your grub. So, Walter and Morgan, and they're gonna bring out a sheep. Right. So here, Henry and Wally, Ed and then Ron. So now we need three new ones. We need 3 name tags from here. I think we need 3. Hold on, we got 1, 2. 1, 2. Yeah, I think we need 3 baby 3 name tags. So what are we going to call this one? Sean. No. Maud. Yeah. Hello, Thomas Cruz. Welcome to the stream. That's Ron. Sean, Peter, and Maud. Oh, we needed a fourth. Please name one Levi. Fine. We're only naming them because the last time I had 30 sheep. The last time I had 30 sheep and they all despawned. I repopulated the sheep farm only for them to spawn again. But that's why we're giving this time to cut around them despawning. If we name tag them more, they shouldn't despawn. So we've named them all: Roxwood, Wally, Levi, Sean, Ed, Ron, Morgan, Maud, Peter, Walter, and Henry. There we go. And then we got one upstairs, haven't we? What we did. Yeah, one's upstairs. Gary's upstairs. But do we have anybody on the top floor? No. Yeah, welcome to the stream, everyone. I apologise there hasn't been a stream in recent days. I have been exhausted. We got a furnace around here anywhere? No, we haven't. I wish we did. Let's bring a furnace over here. We'll shove it in here. If I put that in there, we can put that 50 on the go. Then we can do the other 64 afterwards. Why is the sugarcane so tall? Because I put it there. I thought it looked cool. Hey, we got a little pig farm. And one chicken. 2 chicken. How they got in there, I have no idea. Also, thank you, Thomas Cruz, for becoming a channel member. That's really kind of you. I had the notification that you had become a channel member a few days ago. So, thank you for becoming a channel member. That's really kind to you, and it really does help the channel out. So, thank you. Come on, nighttime. Oh, just found 10 extra. Kind of looks like a beanstalk. I didn't think of that. It does look like Jack and the Beanstalk. I've got to be honest, I didn't think of that when I made this. I didn't think about that. We should call it Jack's Beanstalk or something. Maybe. Hey, let's get a dog. Hello. Oi, because we got a name tag, let's call him Wolfgang. Ooh, 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 ooh. A sugar cane stalk. It's my mum's birthday. Cool. Let's go get a name, something colourful. Hey, we got some more sugar cane here. There's a river not far down here. All that too. Yeah. Yeah. let's not put it here actually. There should be a river right here. Hey guys, on this Minecraft version, you can stick them in the water. You can stick them in the water. Look, these will all break. These are all going to break. You can stick them in water. These are all going to break. If we were to move this to bedrock, they will break because this is a legacy exclusive thing. I love my new doggy. Right. There we go. Let's go this way. It's quite a quiet stream today, guys. There will be a stream tomorrow, guys. There will be a stream tomorrow. I do apologise that there hasn't been many streams since Wednesday. Sorry, since Tuesday. I've knackered myself out. Well, I don't think it's a glitch. I think it was just a feature they added, but then it's a feature that isn't on Bedrock Edition, and Bedrock Edition will break it. The Legacy Console Edition had some stuff like Legacy Console is closer to Java. Boo. Ooh. We're gonna wait for that iron to all smelt. Legacy Console Edition was much closer to Java. 8,728 subscribers. I know. I've been finding it. If anything, I've actually been finding it really hard to get out of 8,270. I've found it really hard to try and get out of this this number. Come on, Wolfgang. Because I found it hard. We haven't had many people subscribe this month. Well, we have, but we've lost a lot. We've lost lots of subscribers as well. Wolfgang, don't end up in there. You're gonna end up in the lava. Right, Wolfgang. Right, you stay here while I inspect the. I can't really answer that, to be honest, Sanghoon. Yeah, I've just found it really hard, guys, to get out of 8,270. We've been trying to hit 8,280 for ages. So, if you want to know what I'm doing, turning the ingots to iron frees up more space. Turning the ingots to blocks frees up a lot more space. Oof. People are just a pain in the butt. Well, not really. It depends, though. It depends how you look at YouTube. My YouTube channel has been around for a long time. I created this YouTube channel. I created this YouTube channel when I was 13. So this YouTube channel has been around for 10 years. So, you know, all the people that subscribed to me back then, I don't know. Perhaps he just made a spelling mistake. That's not. I don't know. Perhaps he just made a spelling mistake. Like, it happens. Right, let's put some of this wheat. Let's put some of this wheat in here. I'm still waiting for all this iron to smelt. So we've still got an extra 64 to smelt. Yeah, we had 50. We had at least. We had at least. No, it says. Does it? No, it doesn't, Sung-hoon. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say 8.276. I've had to zoom in the number because it's the comma, but you can't see the bottom of the comma. It says 8,276. You can't see the comma. You can't see the comma properly. Hello, Huggy. Welcome to the stream. It could be the comma, though. Sung-hoon, who watches the streams, has mentioned a few times about he's got autism, so that's why he's like that. There's basic things that he can't draw the dots to. There's some basic things that you would think you would understand the context to, but he won't understand the context to. I've been promoting a book. I've been promoting a novel. It is. I've been promoting a novel, and the first time I promoted this novel that I published a few weeks ago, and it's about Christmas, and that's the first thing he asked me. Why am I promoting a Christmas film in May? And he also mentions about how he loves gods. Okay, we've got another 64 iron. We've got another 50 to go, I think. Which, that 50, because I haven't got much space on me, because I haven't got much space in my inventory at the moment. He's talking about the Buckingham Palace, the Grenadier Guards. He's talking about the sorry, is it the Coldstream Guards actually? He's talking about the. I think he's talking about the guard. He mentions it to everyone that he comes across on the stream. He's talking about the guards that protect the British royal family. The ones with the fluffy hats. Ooh. Well, he mentions to everyone. Because he's got autism, Michael. It's because he's got autism, so it's kind of like some people that have. Yeah, some people that have autism, they will just tell you their life story. They'll say absolutely everything that they like. If you know what I mean. Yeah, basically what Thomas said, to be honest. You can't rest now, monsters. Well, where the fuck are they? Ooh. Right. How is my favourite sheep today? Right. Let's go and get some of these sheep. I don't even know which. There we go. Any more sheep up here? I think, right. Let's get rid of that a sec. How many baby sheep do we just create? 1, 2. I can't. 3. I can't even see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Cool. Un, deux, trois, quatre. Oh no, that's 5. No, Joe's an idiot. Why isn't he answering? Because he hasn't asked him a question. I just subscribed. Thank you so much. We're aiming to hit... Hold on a minute, guys. I've got a secret to tell you. You break an anvil in this. You break an anvil in this version, and it automatically repairs itself. I haven't seen that comment. I haven't. Oh. Ah. Sorry, my settings wasn't. My settings were not reading every comment out, though. It was showing every comment. Sheep. Can we call a sheep Huggy? Of course. I am gonna itch my eye a second. Sorry, I've got an itchy eye. We need 4 because we spawned in 4 sheep there. So what are we gonna call the next one? We're gonna call the sheep George. What are you playing? Nintendo Switch. Ah. Oh, sorry guys, there is something in my eye. I'm looking at a statue of Rudolph I bought at Christmas time, so... Well... So... Right, George, Huggy, Rudolph, sheep butt, and then the little one over here will be Rudolph. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rudolph. That was 5. So we need 1 more. Nah, let's call him Tony. Joe, yeah, yes. So, how many sheep do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Ah, some of them are grown up now. Oh, look. So, Ron. George is all grown up now. So sheep butt. So's Peter. And only... Well, if I'm streaming through it, I've got to have my... If I'm streaming through it, I've got to have my capture card plugged into it. So you can only stream if you're trying to stream for a Switch. You can only stream if it's in TV mode. But handheld and table, handheld and table mode are basically the same thing. But that is handheld. You can with the Switch, you can only have it in either handheld or TV mode. You've got to have it docked. Cool. I'm playing this on the Switch 2. The Switch 2, you could port, if you had this game on the original Switch, you could port it over to the Switch 2. Right, so name a new sheep, Zuzu. We're not going to go and do any more sheep at the moment because we've already got enough. We've got, I've lost count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And Tony is now, name one Bob. Bob Bill. Can we do it? No, I didn't. Yeah, but also that's a number, Sanghoon. Like, you can't stop people from, even if which I didn't say it, but even if you did, it's a number. We don't want too many grey sheep. We want one of every colour. Bedrock is a downgrade. I wouldn't say that. Bedrock has some good things and some bad things. I would actually, on that regard, I'd actually say that's not really a thing. On that regard, I don't think that's something people generally count, Sunghoon. That's not really something that people count. No, but Bedrock isn't actually that bad. It's just that there's too many bugs on it. The problem with Bedrock is just there's too many bugs and no one ever seems to fix them. That's what my problem is with Bedrock, really. So many bugs, but no one seems to think about fixing them. I mean, you don't have to reply to it, but I mean, it's not really a thing people count. Like, who counts their sneezes? Because they'd be there with a tally chart. They'd be there with it. You'd have to do a tally. They'd be there with a whole tally chart. I've done 100 today. I did 15 yesterday. I did 45 the day before. I don't know. If you played on the normal Switch, oh, it's bugged. Well, Bedrock is the original Legacy Console, the Legacy Console Edition on the Switch. If you've had your console long enough to play it, to have had it, Legacy Console never bugged at all, which was just so much of a better version. Just sleep in here a minute. I've had this world, guys, for 10 years. I've had this Minecraft world for a very, very long time. Ooh. A very, very long time. I'll be back in 2 secs. I just want to turn the light on. It's a little dark. Right. Back. Well, Bedrock wasn't made for PC. Bedrock was made for phones. Java was made for with PCs. Basically, Legacy Console Edition was made by 4J Studios on behalf of Mojang, because Mojang didn't have experience with porting PC games to consoles. You can now, but you couldn't back then. The Bedrock edition was just for phones and tablets. It was a watered down version for phones and tablets, because phones and tablets were not that powerful. Were not powerful enough back then, because phones aren't meant to be played. Phones. Yeah, I know, but before then you couldn't. The Windows 10, you can play both, but that wasn't what this is before Windows 10. The Windows 10 didn't exist when this was happening. All the versions before Windows 10 had to play the Java edition, because Bedrock, what is now Bedrock, was only for phones, because your phone is not a video game. Is not meant for video games. Your phone's meant to be a communication device. It's meant to call people. Your phone, your phone, guys, is not meant to play video games. The primary function of a phone is to call people on. That's what a phone's for. If it was for video games, it would be called it would be called something else. I don't know. The home game device or something like that. And the reason they called it mobile phone is because telephone. Well, it was called telephone, then it got abbreviated to phone. And that's what mobile phones were called, mobile telephones. Which, the word mobile, guys, means move. So if you tell someone to go mobile, it means, I feel like I've been ignored. How come you... Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Your comments only just popped up. How come you haven't made this word public yet? I have. I've got a realm version of this word for channel members. Basically, people that buy the Realm tier can play this World on the Bedrock edition. Yeah, well, that's because they switched it onto somewhere called Pocket Edition. It was called Pocket Edition because obviously it was for phones, but it was... The only reason the name got changed to Bedrock was because they switched the running they switched the running device to Bedrock engine. It was moved to an engine called Bedrock Engine, which is why it became known as the Bedrock Edition. The Bedrock Edition's only called that because they switched the game to something called a Bedrock engine. It was more wacky. I wouldn't say that though. Like, Pocket Edition is Bedrock Edition. Pocket Edition's exactly the same. It's just under a new name now. Pocket Edition's exactly the same. I wouldn't say that in a way because there's no difference between the Pocket Editions. It's just the name change. It's kind of like you take a Ferrari, for example. You take the name Ferrari off it. It's still a Ferrari. I mean, take a Lamborghini. You know, take a Lamborghini and stick a Ferrari logo on it. You know, it's still not a Ferrari. It's still a Lamborghini. It's kind of like Minecraft Bedrock Edition is basically just it is Pocket Edition. It's just renamed. It's not a new version. It's just renamed. Then it's still wacky. Well, Pocket Edition's always been wacky. Pocket Edition was always shit. Pocket Edition, when I played Pocket Edition when I was 12, back in 2014. I mean, it only changed to Bedrock Edition. It only changed to Bedrock Edition because they switched it to a new engine called Bedrock Engine. So fans coined it to the Bedrock Edition. For the early times. Oh, I wouldn't say that's you. I would say that's more of a nostalgia thing though. Pocket Edition wasn't great. Pocket Edition wasn't a good version by any stretch. Pocket Edition could not run the Nether. Pocket Edition couldn't run the Nether or the End. So when I played Pocket Edition when I was 12, it didn't have the Nether and it didn't have the End. It couldn't run any of that. The Stonecutter only existed. The Stonecutter was taken out of the game. Now it's back in. The Stonecutter only existed because you couldn't have everything in the crafting menu. The crafting table couldn't support every single item in what is in a regular crafting menu on like console and Java. The D-pad's more better, but it was more clunky. But the reason they've changed that though is because they're not pandering to phones anymore. They've got to make it accessible for every version now. Because they made it cross-play, they've got to make it available for every version, or compatible with every version. If you get what I mean, they've got to make it compatible. It's kind of like why Legacy Console isn't crossplay. Legacy Console isn't crossplay because crossplay didn't exist at the time. Crossplay wasn't possible before the Bedrock Edition. In fact, Legacy Console was Bedrock Edition was the first game ever capable of crossplay. It was the first time it was the first time like a PlayStation player could play with an Xbox player on a game, or a Nintendo Switch player play with an Xbox player, and vice versa. It needs the D-pad with the new look will be much better. It probably would. It probably would. But Pocket Edition as a concept was never very good. I love your video. Thank you. Ooh. Sorry, I just burped, guys. I feel bad. Ooh. How is everybody on this stream? I haven't streamed for the last couple of days. I do apologise. It depends. When did you first start playing it? When did you first play the Pocket Edition, Huggy? Is that after it got? They were able to make it more supported. 2020. That wasn't the Pocket Edition then. That was the Bedrock Edition. That wouldn't have been Pocket Edition. That would have been Bedrock Edition, because Bedrock Edition, the name Pocket Edition had already changed by then. It had already the name changed from Pocket Edition to Bedrock Edition in 2017. Yeah. Yeah. Minecraft was great up until 2020, and that's when the updates got a bit. If it got a bit dull. But yeah, Minecraft Bedrock Edition was not good. If you go back to 2014, Minecraft Pocket Edition was alright, but it wasn't great. The Nether, there's a lot of stuff that was not supported in the game because it would cost too much to put it. Well, not that it would cost too much to put in. In fact, guys, it was cheap. People only played Pocket Edition because it was cheap. It was back then. It was only a $5. Back then, the Legacy Console Editions were 20 quid, and the Legacy Console. Forgot what I was saying then. Legacy Console Editions were 20 quid, and on my old family tablet, Minecraft was £5. I had a Minecraft world and I lost it. I had a Minecraft world on it and I lost the demo version. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, how is everybody on this stream? I don't even know. Oh, there's only 2 people watching. I thought we had more. I am absolutely knackered today, guys. Who's our top commenters of today's stream? Give me a set. I need to refresh the screen because it's not loading shit. Right. There's no more comments have been put. Have I been missing people's comments? Because sometimes people's comments don't load for me. Okay, the top commenters are Duffel Bear, Thomas Cruz, Michael, Egg, Levi Crawl, Huggy, Songhoon, Landon, and Super Boris Ward and Maya, and at the bottom is Super Boris Ward and Maya is the bottom. We've only had 9 people comment on the stream. Okay. Times were simpler when you played. I wouldn't say that though. Times weren't simpler. Times weren't exactly simpler. There's no such thing as when times were simpler. It's just that what you remember, it's sort of like your nostalgia. To you, times were simpler. It's one of those, to you, times were simpler when you was a kid. Yeah, when you're a child, yeah, life is simpler, but not to everyone. So, you know, in Minecraft, for example, to some people back then, Minecraft was not a very good game. There were games that had much better graphics, but it depends. It's always what you think, if you get what I mean. When you look back, so for example, Minecraft is not iconic in my opinion. I'm old enough to remember before Minecraft. I'm old enough to remember games that come out before Minecraft, so to me, Minecraft's not that iconic. Minecraft kids are... Well, I wouldn't say that, though. Roblox is actually older than Minecraft. I think that's from your opinion, though, because, you know, Roblox has really only turned to shit. I've never liked it, never played it, but there's no such thing as one being more creative than the other. That's like saying British people are better than French people because one's French. That's the worst analogy I've ever used in my life. Like Gen Alpha. Well, Gen Alpha, you can't really say that though, because, you know, Gen Alpha, the youngest Gen Alpha is only... The youngest Gen Alpha is like 13 years old. The oldest Gen Alpha is 13 years old. The youngest Gen Alpha is like 2 years old. They haven't... They're only children. They're only young. They haven't proven themselves to the world yet. You know, Gen Alpha could be the smartest generation. You don't judge them when you don't judge the generation for when it's just happened. You judge it years later. You judge it years later. You know, I guarantee the greatest generation, the greatest generation, as they call it, basically the people during the people leading during the Second World War, they were classed as the greatest generation. The greatest generation, their parents thought they were crazy because they were the ones campaigning for women's votes and things like that. The older generation then thought they were crazy. So right now we could be looking at Generation Alpha now and saying they're crazy. You know, they could be the smartest generation. You don't judge the generation. You don't judge a generation by what they do in their childhood. Minecraft gens are more creative in my opinion. But that's not really a thing you would judge someone on, though. If you get what I mean, like a Minecraft generation, but there's no such thing as a Minecraft generation. That is like saying Harry Potter fans are better. It's like saying Harry Potter fan. No, just saying. But no, I know you're saying it. It doesn't make sense. I am Gen Z, barely. I am Gen Z. Gen Z was 2012. Gen Z was 97 to 2012. So I was born 5 years into Gen Z. No, I know what you're saying, Huggy. It just doesn't make sense. It's like saying Harry Potter fandoms. It's like saying Harry Potter fans are. It's like saying Harry. Sorry, I'm trying to think of a good analogy here. It's like saying, you know, Hobbit fans are better. The Lord of the Rings fans are better than Harry Potter fans because of what J.K. Rowling said about trans people. But Harry Potter came out almost 30 years before some of her, like, crazy views came out. So you can't blame people for being... You can't judge them for being a fan of something. 2008. That's not barely Gen Z. The Keeper of Life. That's not barely Gen Z. There's 4 years. There's 4 years of people. The youngest Gen Z is 4 years younger than you are. That's not barely. That's like saying the youngest Gen Z is 10 years younger than me. Yeah, the youngest Gen Z is 10 years younger than I am. Kids let's play Steal a Brain Rot. Yeah, but that's not their fault though. That's not their fault. That's if you look at that content is designed to do that. That content is designed to keep you watching. And because you're saying it's shit, and because some people think it's shit, they continue watching it. It's basically like scamming. It's basically like scamming. The more you watch it, the more because there's always a hook with that shit. The more you watch it, the more money. So it's basically a money scam event. The more you watch those brain rotted streams and AI streams, the more money its creator gets. Yeah. The more money you get, the more they watch, the more money the person gets. It's kind of like you guys, for example. You guys watching my stream. How long have a few of you guys been watching my streams for? How long have you guys been watching this stream for? So I'd say some of you guys have probably been watching the stream for like half hour. So for example, if some of you guys have been watching my stream for like 30 minutes. So, the longer you guys watch, the more hours I get. So, because of the more hours I get, the more I need to get 4,000 hours a year to stay in the the YouTube partnership program, the YouTube monetization shit. So that's what they're after. That's what those Steal a Brain Rot streams are actually doing. It's more like a scam event, which the more people watch, the more hours they get, the more money they get from YouTube. And people don't understand that it's basically a scam. It's kind of like it's kind of like those free Robux videos, the free Robux streams where people watch the stream for hours and hours thinking they're going to get free Robux. And what they don't realize is that they're not actually getting free Robux, and that it's actually a video on loop. It's actually a video on loop. So the same person's constantly getting. Wait, it's not their fault. It's the AI brain rot. Well, yeah, it's not. A lot of people nowadays don't understand it's AI. If you look at AI now, AI videos now are becoming realistic. So you can see AI videos. People cannot see AI now. Well, you can see AI, but I mean that a lot of people now are starting to get caught out by AI videos because they can't see it's AI. It's kind of like film, for example. It's kind of like film recording. 100 years ago, no one knew what film was. The first film ever played in a cinema, people ran out thinking a train was going to crash through the window. because they hadn't seen anything like it. But now these AI videos are becoming so realistic that people generally think they're real videos. You can't blame the people watching that content, really. You've got to blame the people you've got to blame the social media sites for promoting this brain-rotted content. I wouldn't say that though. They need to watch anything. There's a lot of stuff, like, not everyone likes the same thing. I personally hate anime. I personally hate the anime film style and think it's overrated. I don't understand anime's popularity outside of Japan, because I'm like, it's just a Japanese word for animation, and the style looks horrible. So yeah, have a good rest of your day, the Keeper of Life, if you get what I mean, everybody. But yeah, it's kind of like that. It depends what they like. I'll be one to say it. I never liked Dreams content. I thought Dreams content was designed to I thought Dream made his YouTube videos with the idea of becoming famous. When I saw one of Dream's videos take off, when he took off a few like in 2020, I thought he wasn't doing it for the love of content creation. I thought he was using it as a way to become famous. If you get what I mean. So yeah, that's like, well, you can't hate it if you don't watch it. I didn't say watch, but no, it's no, you can Huggy. You can hate something if you don't watch it. You can't hate something. You can, like, that's the whole point of film criticism. That's the whole point in what criticism is. It's kind of like, I studied film, and that's the whole point of what film criticism is. You criticize what you don't like, and it's the most useful thing you can see. It's kind of like, there's a lot of films out there. Every filmmaker or TV show maker that's ever made anything has somebody criticize their work, and it's because the critics, they know what people want to watch. So, for example, anime has destroyed filmmaking in Japan. Anime has destroyed filmmaking in Japan. Literally, live action films now. Don't blame for the story. You just need lore. What? I'm really confused what you mean. But anime, for example, has destroyed film in Japan. Literally, you know, live action filmmaking where you actually film someone in front of a camera. In Japan now, there's hardly any films getting shown. And it was really interesting. There's a documentary about it recently. Because of the likes of anime, filmmaking in Japan has really dropped, because no one wants to see it anymore. All they want to see is animation. It's really interesting. But yeah, I don't like anime, guys. I think this. I don't like the animation style. I think the animation style looks too weird. But it's kind of like, do you like stickmans? I mean, I know what a stickman is. Never heard. I don't know what you're talking about though. Depends what animation style. I prefer the more traditional animation style. Is your opinion? No, that's not my opinion. That's not my opinion. That's generally a fact about. That's generally a fact. Like, anime has destroyed cinema in Japan. Like just a stickman. Well, stickman's in. I understand what stickman animation is. It's basically a stickman. But no, I prefer true animation, like the original animation, like the original Walt Disney, Aardman, stop motion animation. I prefer that style of animation. I preferred the animation where you generally had to draw it, where you had to take a photo every. You had to move a clay figure for 100 times for 100 frames. It's more impressive. Aardman, when they were doing Wallace and Gromit, for every hour that they worked, they shot 10 seconds. Because of how many times they had to move the figures. Oh, you're talking about YouTube videos. No, I'm talking about genuine film. You're talking about YouTube videos. I'm talking about genuine film. I'm talking about genuine animation, not like the YouTube stuff. Why did I say that 2 times? Sometimes it happens. I have that happen sometimes. YouTube automatically. Oh, pardon me. What was I gonna? I was gonna say something. But yeah, I would prefer, guys. I gotta be honest. I would prefer anime. I prefer anime not shown on UK TV. I'd prefer more British films shown, like young British filmmakers having opportunities for their stuff to be shown on British TV. I think that's a good idea. I think there should be I think a certain percentage of British film should have to be shown on TV. I think that's a really good idea. Oh, pardon me. I think that would be an amazing idea, really. You bring in a percentage of, like, you can air it. Sonic, Mario, Minecraft. I wouldn't say that. I personally wouldn't say they're the big 3. I think there's a lot of other games though. I don't think you can rank video games because you're never really going to play every single video game. Like, you go back 30 years, it would be Mario, Donkey Kong, Sonic, Halo. Nowadays people might say Fortnite, Roblox and things like that. Minecraft. But it depends what generation you're from, is my opinion though. No, I know, but I'm saying it's an interesting one. That's what I'm saying. It's an interesting one. It depends what generation you're born in. It depends, not generation, it depends what year you're born in, decade. So in my opinion, Minecraft's not the best game ever. In my opinion, it's Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga, because that was one of the first video games I ever bought. It's kind of like some people will go back in time and say it was I don't know, the original Mario, one of the Mario games from the 90s. There's no such thing as the best video game ever, because the best video game is whatever was popular when someone was a child. Or it is interesting. It's kind of like it's kind of like film, for example. What's the best film ever? Everyone say what their favourite film is. Everyone on here, what's your favourite film? Go to my bed in the game. That's fine. We need some more XP levels. I said it's my opinion. I know you said it's your opinion, but I said I added a bit of context on there. I said it's interesting because it depends everyone's opinion is shaped from what was popular when they were young. It's kind of like if you ask 10 people, they're all going to say different things. It's kind of like if you are. No, there's nothing here. Come on. It's kind of like if you ask somebody actually who their favorite British Prime Minister is. They're all going to say different things. I don't know why I use British Prime Ministers, but what's everyone's favourite film? Because everyone's favourite film would be different. Depending on what was popular at every certain point. Like, I had somebody recently tell me the Minecraft movie was their favourite film. It was the best film of 2026. I heavily denied that because I thought it was absolutely shit. And I have good reason. Movie, not series. A movie isn't a series. Oh shit, I couldn't move because the Everton sign was there. Yeah, movie, not series. If I said series, I just said series, to be honest. The Mario Galaxy movie. Is that out? I'm surprised on that one because that's only really just come out. I gotta be honest, I didn't even watch the first one. I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the Mario movie, but that's because they did one in the 90s that was absolutely shit. Nintendo for years said they'd never allow anyone to make a Mario film because they did a film called Super Mario Bros. In the 90s and it was very, very bad. Any Marvel or DC movie? I've never understood Twilight. I've never understood why people like Twilight and people like... Yeah, Mario. Nintendo for years would not allow anyone to make a Mario movie. It's kind of cringe. I mean, you know, I the only thing I know about that film, the only thing I know about that film is Robert Pattinson. The only thing I know about that film is Robert Pattinson was in it. And the only reason I know that because he was in Harry Potter and he played Batman. What's my favourite film? Daredevil, Marvel. I do know who Daredevil is. What's my favourite film? I don't have a favourite film because I studied film. I studied filmmaking, so I can't give you a favourite film, guys. I can tell you my favourite films of last year, guys. I can tell you all the film. Say multiple films that I. Everyone got their own opinion. Yeah, that's true. But sometimes people are a bit warped with their opinions when it comes to film because some people just like what's popular. Like some people liked the Minecraft movie, but the Minecraft movie was poorly made. There's a part in the Minecraft movie where you can clearly see the green screen. You can clearly see Jack Black standing in front of a green screen because you can see the green glint of the green screen. Films I watched were popular. Well, Hotel Transylvania and Twilight are pretty popular. Well, back in the 2000s. Well, they were all popular. Like, Twilight was massive. Twilight was absolutely massive back then. It's kind of like Harry Potter. The Minecraft movie was rushed. Well, I wouldn't. It wasn't rushed. You can't rush a film. The Minecraft movie wasn't rushed. It was, the story was poorly wrote. As a person that studied film, it's not about whether it's rushed. If the movie visually looked amazing, the problem was the storyline was shit. The storyline was really, really bad, and it was just, the film wasn't rushed. The storyline was shit. It was more. I'll tell you what is rushed. Steve got elytras. Yeah, but that's not really a problem though, because it says he was in the world for many years. It said he was in the world for many, many years, but the problem that I had with that storyline was the whole. I thought the actress who played Mordacia, whatever her name is, Malgosia, I thought she was shit. She just didn't sound menacing at all. She didn't sound like a villain. No, she sounded like the receptionist at a hotel. What are you drawing? Would you like to check in? The Ender Pearl? Yeah. But he was in the world for years. It says he was in the world for years because, Jack Black's got brown hair. Jack Black's got black hair and a black beard in the first bit, and then he's grey. Then he's pretty much grey in later on. But what my problem was, the storyline for that film was really, really thin. Jason Momoa's character was absolutely useless and boring. He said that's his first one. Yeah, he says it's the only one he's had. The Ender Pearl, he said, it's the only one I have. And that's what he says. Yeah, he says that's the only one he has. But that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's his first one. That's the only one he's got there currently. But that's those little bits aren't the problem. The problem is actually the story, not anything in the story. It's the story overall. Shark Tale's a good film. Shark Tale is a good film. What was I going to say? The problem with the Minecraft movie was that it was very contradictory. What's her fate? What's the two female characters? Natalie and Dawn. That it should be anime. Well, no, I don't agree with that. It wouldn't be 100% better. It's not. The film isn't going to be better if it's animated. It would be better. It would have been better if the storyline was stronger. It didn't have a very good storyline. Dawn and Natalie. So Danielle Brooks and Emma Myers characters. The two of them, they did nothing. They were just there because they were there. Literally, they're in the village. They find Dennis the dog. They kill a couple of mobs, and then they disappear. And then they suddenly appear in the mushroom house. They had hardly any screen time in that part of the story. Jason Momoa's character has no storyline. He has a massive chunk of storyline with the fact that he needs the money, but in my opinion, he should have died. In my opinion, he should have died when he jumped off the bridge. That acts as an emotional impact. That acts as an emotional impact for Henry to go and stop Malgosia and save the day. But then him coming back and then saving the kid again, it takes away the meaning of his sacrifice in the first place. He saves him. He saves the kid. Everyone thinks he's dead. Then he comes back and saves the kid again. Then it makes the first sacrifice boring, and it has no meaning. It's kind of like It's kind of like Vader. It's kind of like if Vader had survived at the Return of the Jedi, it makes him sacrifice himself for Luke not worth it. There's no emotional payoff. You know, Darth Vader saves his son from being killed by the Emperor, and then he dies. Do you imagine how it would look if they'd have kept him alive? Darth Vader saves his son from the Emperor, gets up and comes home with him. It's not got as much emotional impact as sacrificing yourself to save your son. But they needed the other characters in the Bedrock Edition. It would make more sense. What do you mean the Bedrock Edition? Where's Bedrock come into a Minecraft movie? I'm not talking about Minecraft the game. I'm talking about how shit the film was. If you get what I mean, like, characters have to do something. Characters have to do something in film. You can't just have a character sit around and do nothing. It's a waste of potential. Doctor Who did it. Default characters. What, they didn't. It's like, I've got to be honest, how many default characters are there now? I think there's too many default characters now. Like, in my opinion, it's Alex and Steve. I think the other default characters now are stupid. I didn't agree with adding all the other default characters because there was no point, because you never stick with a default character. Hello, Pixel King. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, all the other characters apart from Alex and Steve, like, I really don't agree with. It's just like, well, you don't really... I mean, right now I'm a bunny. Nobody keeps the default character. How are you, Pixel King? Welcome to the stream. I do apologise, everyone, about not streaming on Wednesday or Thursday. I was going to stream, guys. I went on a walk on Wednesday. I went on a walk on a Wednesday, guys, and I walked longer than I expected. Cool. I did see your image on Discord yesterday. I did see that. I went on a walk, everybody, on Wednesday, and I walked longer than I expected, and I ended up walking 7 miles. And then I walked 8 miles yesterday, so the reason I didn't do any streaming yesterday is because I was absolutely shattered. Your last day of school, Jesus Christ. Bloody hell. You finished school in May. Thank you. You finished school in May. Honestly, when I was your age, we were finishing in July. I suppose in the UK, we finished school in July, but then we finished school at 16. We finished school at 16 though, so all that extra time in the classroom probably equivalates to 2 years. All that extra time in the classroom probably equivalates. Summer lasts longer in the US. Well, summer is 3 months. The summer period is 3 months. It's 3 months in the UK. It just happens to be in the UK up until like the 20th, up until mid-July in the UK. Children still go to school. Yeah, we call it the summer holiday. We call it the summer holidays. But yeah, summer holidays in the UK is only 6 weeks. Yeah, in the UK it's 6 weeks. We just call it the 6 weeks in the UK. Any tips? Just one. Any tips for streaming? I don't know. Be yourself. I would recommend, obviously, if I was to give any tips, I'd recommend streaming with a mic, because I didn't stream with a mic for years, and the amount of people that unsubscribed, but it was because a lot of people just couldn't. A lot of people couldn't click with me. They couldn't click with me, if you get what I mean. I mean, when I'm talking to you guys, I'm talking from my heart, and when I'm talking on streams, I don't have a desk. That's all right. I broke my bed last year, and I broke my chair last year, Egg, and I streamed sat on the floor. I streamed sitting on the floor because I would sit on the bed while streaming, and I broke the bed, so I streamed sitting on the floor for like... Oh, I'll tell you what. Hello, Crimson. Welcome to the stream. I tell you what. For 6 months, I sat on a metal filing cabinet. Hello, Lily. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, for 6 months, I sat on a filing cabinet because I broke my chair. I streamed for 6 months, sat on a filing cabinet. Favorite mob in Minecraft? Couldn't tell you, to be honest. What? You have got something. If you're sat there with a laptop, you have got like some. It is the laptop is on something, right? I watch your stream sometimes. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. My bed. I mean, have you got something that the laptop's sitting on? Because if you've just got it on the bed, that's not actually very safe. And I'm being honest here, guys. Like, it's not actually safe to do that. What I meant is there? Have you got like a tray or something that the laptop's on? Well, you live stream daily. At the moment, because I cannot find a job. I can't seem to get hired at the moment, so... No, on the sheets. Yeah, I would recommend not doing that. Because using a laptop on the sheets isn't exactly a very safe thing to do. Because of how... you know how if you put something on the sheets moves? Using a laptop square on the sheets can set the sheets on fire. Yeah. I'm enjoying your stream. Oh, thank you. Yeah, literally. They say that it's actually very not recommended to have a laptop lying on a bed without something underneath it. Without something flat underneath it, like a book or something, or like a tray, or I don't know, something like that. It's not actually recommended to use it on the bed because it blocks the fans. Do you hate ads? Because I do. I hate them, but they're very useful. I mean, I get paid for I get paid by the ads. Do you play any other games? I play FIFA. I do play other games. I play all the old Lego games. It's a fanless laptop. A fanless laptop? I wouldn't say if a laptop's now fanless. How's it fanless? That's really interesting. I'm one of the best streamers in the garage. Joel? My name's Joe, not Joel. You can take the L off. Take the L off and then you'll be there. Yeah, my name's Joe, not Joel. Everybody's kung fu fighting. Some are. How does it cool down then? Because laptops obviously heat up when they're on. My bath's alright. Could be worse. It could be worse. I once had a teacher that called me Piers. The teacher once called me. There was a teaching assistant in my college class. They called me Piers. And then they called me George. They called me George. And then they called a friend of mine Piers. What's the funniest movement during the stream? Do you mean moment? Funniest moments during stream? I don't know. I can't really tell you what the funniest moment is. Like today's heat kind of. Yeah. But yeah, it's not actually recommended to... It's not actually recommended to use a laptop on the bed without something... It's not actually recommended to use a laptop on a bed without something underneath it, something flat underneath it, which a lot of house fires, a lot of electrical house fires start with that. Start with people using laptops on beds. It's crazy. What's my favourite game? Now they don't need to go, Huggy. You've always had ads. YouTube's always had ads. YouTube's had ads for like 20 odd years. The problem with it now is that the ads are becoming longer and longer and they're doing more and more. But it's because companies have started to notice that a lot of people are using YouTube. It's one of their ways of making money. A lot of companies have noticed that people are watching more and more YouTube than they do TV. So they're going to put money into doing ads on YouTube. But it's annoying. It is, but you can't help it though. Those companies need to promote their stuff. So, for example, I get so much political ads. Yeah. I get advertisements on my streams because I'm monetized. But you can set what ads you want them to do. Just make them short. Yeah. But those advertisements, YouTube can't help the advertisements because the advertisements are made by the genuine companies and they decide how long they are. It's kind of like some adverts now are being used like films. Like a video game trailer. A video game trailer is now like a film when 40 years ago it was just a clip of the game. One of my uni lecturers showed me this game trailer from 2009. Hello Amanda Garrett, welcome back to the stream. I do remember you, yes. You're a graphic designer, you're working on commission basis. Cool. Yeah. I also studied, I didn't do graphic design, I did film. So, cool. I can understand that field. But yeah, on that regard, guys, like, these advertisements now. What was I saying? One of my uni lecturers showed me this film. They showed me this trailer, and it was from Halo. A Halo trailer in 2009, and Halo promoted their trailer in 2009. No, that's all right. I make my own graphic designs, guys, because it's something I like doing. I stream now, but I want to watch you. It's alright. Oh, pardon me. I can't tell you what the best times to stream are. Because the best times to stream, guys, are that the ads just click and skip on the ads I like. Yeah, there was a Halo game from 2009. The trailer came out and my uni lecturer was telling me about it was the first trailer he ever saw that it looked like a film, so he thought it was a Halo film. And it wasn't, it was just promoting the game. And that's what it is now. Plugged into the back. bought the new HDMI cable from there. But it's always good to have an extra HDMI cable. I've never played or watched Halo. Neither have I, to be honest, but my uni lecturer showed me a trailer to it that basically he thought it was a film because they did a trailer that looked realistic. Did you beat this word? I mean, I beat this word years ago. I've been playing in this word since like 2016. Also, ROA, what do you think about Jose Mourinho potentially being the new Real Madrid manager? Oh, pardon me. Welcome to this. Also, welcome to this stream. Hi, Gold. Who's Gold? I didn't see anybody called Gold in the stream. There we go. 90 of you have watched this stream. Crazy. Wait, every Minecrafter should have its use. Oh, my nose. Oh, there's your comment. Well, he is. I was not in favour of him because, you know, he hasn't been the manager. He hasn't been the manager he once was. Well, he has, but he, you know, he did well at Roma. He won the Conference League. But, you know, some managers, you know, Rafa Benitez won the Champions League. Now he's managing in Greece. Are those new gen prospect managers? Yeah, but you can't keep going to managers. Like, I think Real Madrid's problem in recent years was, you know, bring in a new young manager. I think Real Madrid's problem is, you know, had Carlo Ancelotti, for example. I like what what's his face said, Mark Goldbridge. I like what he said. You know, the players respected Carlo Ancelotti. He goes, but not all of them respected Xabi Alonso. And there was a lot of player power at Real Madrid. And it was a really interesting thing. He said, Mourinho is the manager that's, you know, they were saying, what he said was really interesting. You know, Mourinho is a manager that's basically, if the players don't do what he wants, they're gone. And it's really interesting. I think sometimes you need that now. I think football teams need that. Like, I liked what what's his face said on TalkSport a few years ago, Simon Jordan, because he used to be an owner. He owned Crystal Palace for a few years, and he said, you know, the players have no say in the way the club goes. But it's been a good time with you. Oh, thank you. It's really kind of you. I like what Simon Jordan said. He said the players shouldn't have any say. He's more of a man manager. Jose Mourinho, I think, is a really good manager. You know, he took Porto. He is very good at making players play. He's very good at making players play football and convincing them that they can be better. It's a really interesting proposal. It's an interesting one, really. Mourinho took Porto, which Porto didn't have a very good squad at the time, and he took them to the Champions League. He took them and won the Champions League final. Nobody knew who Jose Mourinho was when he won the Champions League final, and he beat Manchester United, who were predicted to win it at that time. It's a really interesting one, but you know, he's a disciplinarian. You know, not a lot of those players that whinge about what's going on, you know, they wouldn't survive at other clubs. It's kind of like Jose works if he delivers. But Real Madrid won't deliver if those players don't play. Rather, I think if Real Madrid want to start winning, I think they need to I think the players need to pull their fingers out their asses and just get together. You've got to have a siege mentality, like us versus the world. They can't be scrapping amongst themselves. In fact, I think what they need is someone like a Seamus Coleman. They need something like an Everton's Seamus Coleman, somebody that's, a cap. They need a captain, a bit like Seamus Coleman was. Tell you what, you'd be like Brian Clough. Have you ever heard of him? Yeah, well, Brian Clough, Roy Keane was the hardest player at Man United, but he wasn't the hardest player at Nottingham Forest. Roy Keane did a sloppy back pass, had a bit of a whinge about it, and then Brian Clough walked over and slapped him. And just Brian Clough forced Sean Dyche, who used to manage Everton. Sean Dyche, who managed Burnley, Everton, and Nottingham Forest. While he played at Nottingham Forest, Brian Clough made him and a few of the other young players do his garden up. So because he didn't want players with egos, he'd make them do shit like I forgot his name. That was the Nottingham Forest captain. Whoever the Nottingham Forest captain was, he made him fix his iron. Basically, Stuart Pearce. In the England programme, Stuart Pearce put Stuart Pearce electrician into the programme, and it was his trade when he was non-league, because he was an electrician by trade. And Brian Clough walks in there and says, "How did you play?" And he goes, "Oh, I thought I played well." He goes, "Well, I thought you were shit." And he said, "Oh, I saw this, Stuart Pearce electrician. What's this about?" He goes, "Oh, it was a family business. Well, we kept it running." He goes, "Well, this is Barbara's iron. Fix it, or you're not playing Sunday." But I think players have too much say now. Players have too much say. Yeah, football players now have too much say. I think it's the money now. I think it's the money, which is just ridiculous. The money now is ridiculous. Like, the money that footballers have now is ridiculous. Like, ooh. Yeah, I think Real Madrid, what they need is someone like a Seamus Coleman style figure. Seamus Coleman has just left Everton, but he was Everton's captain for 7 years, but he led them through thick and thin. Well, Xabi Alonso played for Liverpool. Like Jamie Carragher said, he hopes Chelsea do well next season because his mate's involved, because he played for Liverpool for years. Oh, what's my opinion? I'm not really bothered, but it'd be interesting. He's not been called head coach. He's been manager. So I'm really interested to see what he does. I think Xabi Alonso's a good coach. I think he's a good manager. I think the problem at Real Madrid was the players have too much control. Well, personally, if I'm an owner of a football club and the players are asking for the manager to get sacked, I'm like, well, I'll do what I want. You know, you're a player. You can be replaced. You can be replaced, but no player should be bigger than a football club. You know, the football club has existed for centuries. Like I went. What's the funniest comment you've ever read? Their first manager since 2020. No, Thomas Tuchel was a manager. Thomas Tuchel was their manager. Enzo Maresca. He does not look his age. Enzo Maresca does not look his age. When you see Enzo Maresca, he doesn't look like he's 46. He looks about 56. No offense to him, but he looks much older than he is. There's a clip of him from when he was like 24 and he looks about 30 something. Every Italian ever. I wouldn't say that. But yeah, Enzo Maresca, he doesn't look his age. But I've got to be honest, I don't look my age, guys. Apparently I look 30 with a beard, and then I look about 17 without one. So... oh. But yeah, Enzo Maresca does not look his age. I suppose it's kind of like Pep, though. You know, Pep Guardiola, I've never understood. While he's the whole time he's been manager of Manchester City, you know, he's always had grey and he's always had a grey and black beard, where grey is half of it's grey, half of it's black, and so. You know, he looks older in one part. He looks older on one part of his face than the other. You clean shave for €400. 400. Bloody hell. What were you doing it for? With diamonds? €400. In the UK, €400 would probably buy you like a hotel for 3 nights. I've never understood why people like go to the barbers to have a shave. Like, do it yourself, lazy bastards. But besides, I don't really shave that much, guys, because I look much fatter without a beard. Oh, Joe, do you want a PS5? Not really, no. To be honest, I love Nintendo, guys. I love Nintendo. Oh, my nose is blocked. I almost bought Civilization 7 yesterday, guys. I went into my local city and I saw it for 30 quid. Oh, guys, I am absolutely livid. I bought a mic. I bought a mic a few months ago for my camera and it wouldn't work. Here's a switch. I don't know. I will be honest, I actually did quite like some of the new consoles. the PS5 and the Xbox Series X I thought were decent consoles. I just thought they were overpriced. I just got to put my controller down a sec because it's very warm. It's been like 20, 25 degrees. Yeah, it was on sale. It was on sale in Game, which Game is a shop in the UK, guys. We don't have GameStop in the UK, we have Game. And it was on sale in Game, it was cheap. But it was on sale, it was 30 quid, I didn't buy it though. I bought a mic for my camera and I don't have an audio jack, which I found out. So I tried to get a refund yesterday and they told me, oh sorry, even though it says a 5-year guarantee, we only give a refund after 2 days. We start giving refunds after 2 days. And they wouldn't give me a refund, so I can't get my 30... Oh no, they would give me... I could sell it back to them. CX, I could sell it back to them. I could... I will be honest, guys. I could sell it back to them for 15 quid. I could have lost £20 if I'd have sold it back to them. I'm literally livid. It doesn't say on the receipt, it doesn't say, oh, on the receipt it doesn't say, on the receipt, guys, it does not say, oh, refunds available only after 2 days, up to 2 days. Now I'm stuck with a mic that I can't use. But they were going to... Oh, this is what CX do, by the way. If you want to sell them something... Yeah, if I'd have had that, that would have been amazing. Yeah, but CX in the UK, they only gave me 2 days. Which I could resell it to them. They were going to give me £22 if I bought stuff in the shop. £15 in cash if I wanted the cash. So I could have had a £22 voucher in the shop or a £15, and I bought this thing for 35. I decided to keep it and sell it myself. Yeah, but that's the thing though, not everyone's interested in them. Like, for me, with a computer, as long as I can edit my YouTube videos, stream and write my books, then I don't really care about computers. I think the specifications I don't care about. Well, customer support's alright in the UK. Customer support's alright in the UK. I can understand some stuff for refunds. Like, but this was a birthday present. I bought it with birthday. It was a birthday present, a late birthday present I was given. So my mum bought me this mic as a late birthday present because I saw it when we walked into the shop, and it pisses me off. Like, I can't use it, but I can't get a refund. I mean, I can use it, yeah, if I buy a new camera. But the camera that I would want, would be like a filmmaking camera. So I could shoot more films. I do apologise, guys. I am sweating. It's so warm. It's been like 25 degrees today, so it's been like 25 degrees today, so it's been sweltering. It's meant to be 30 next week. It's been 77 Fahrenheit for the American audience. So I'm probably not going to get much sleep tonight because I guarantee this room is going to act like a sweat bucket. Because this is a south-facing window. Does that mean not at all then, ROA? I'm joking. I read something about him the other day. He's 5'7", so he's the same height as the French president, because the French president's only about 5'7". A lot of the world leaders are only about 5'7". There's quite a few of the world leaders who are only roughly 5'7", 5'8". It's interesting. Oh, why is YouTube playing it for? It's interesting. No, actually, I'm going to say the opposite there. I'm going to say the opposite. I'm going to say the opposite in that regard. Like, I knew a load of people who were in my school year who were really fat, and the fat made them look tall. So we had a girl that was really fat. She was about like she was really tall. She was like 5'7", 5'8". Yeah, I've met loads of people that are really fat, but then the fat has made them taller. And it doesn't feel like a video. Yeah, I do want to shoot some more videos, but I just haven't had the chance. But yeah, but it's the I think it's the opposite. But I think on that regard, based on what you just said though, ROA, like, if someone's really tall and skinny, they are gonna look taller, because you can see it. Because, you know, the taller you are, less weight looks more. No, sorry, more weight looks less. You know, if you're 6'4", 5", next to someone that's the same, and they're like 100 pounds lighter, they're gonna look completely different. They might look a bit taller, but then their bones are gonna look longer, but they're not. It's kind of like, in a regard, it's kind of like get a person that's 200 pounds, who's 5'1", and then get a person that's 6'1", 200 pounds. One's gonna look skinny, one's gonna look fat, like really fat. If you guys get what I mean. Yeah, I didn't see Pixel King's comment just now. Oh no, I did read it. I thought you put another comment in underneath. I went to Zambia, South Africa, a few days ago. I saw a lot of animals. I was bored at one point seeing just lions and crocs. Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, I can understand that. I wouldn't get bored because I love animals, but it's kind of like why people in the UK go on holiday to the. It's like why people in the UK countryside go to the. It's kind of like what people in the UK go on holiday to the countryside. And that's a thing of being overweight though, technically, kind of. You know, the warmer it is, you feel more warm. They do actually say that, guys. You want to be fat in the winter, but you don't want to be fat in the summer. Because if you're overweight in the summer, the body fat acts as insulation, so it's amazing in the summer. In the winter, but then it makes you warmer in the summer. Joe, it's competition, not competition. Oh fuck me! I'm a shit speller. I'm not dyslexic. I just can't spell. But thank you. I'm gonna change that. No, I'm not autistic. You just want to go to Norway again and ski. I just want to jump in the nearest lake, because right now I am absolutely sweating my man tits off. It is so warm. I want the nearest lake. Ooh. Decepted should be back in a few days. I've streamed later these last few weeks, but the last week or two. No, then the second largest track in the world took 5 days. Cool. But I suppose Italy's kind of nice as well. But I suppose Norway's probably got a much smaller population. Actually, well, that might change in the future though, because Italy and the UK... Longest I meant, English is tough. Yeah, English is tough, but the problem is... The reason why that is because England was invaded a lot by France. Because England was invaded a lot by France and vice versa, a lot of English is a mix of Roman, Anglo-Saxon, Viking, the Scandinavian and English words. Because England was invaded by so many different powers, like up until 1066, it means that there's a lot of words that contradict each other in the English language. It's kind of like England has a lot of cultural similarities with France, has a lot of cultural similarities with Scandinavia, and has a lot of cultural connections with Germany due to the Anglo-Saxons. Yeah, I think Italy's just got a large population. Like Italy and the UK have the highest population of elderly people, and Italy and the UK have the oldest populations in Europe. Which is why Italy and the UK got hit quite hard during COVID, because the UK and Italy had really high populations of elderly people. And that was one thing that was mentioned during COVID, why England and Italy got hit so hard. Britain and Italy got hit so hard was because Italy and the UK had the highest population of elderly people in Europe. I read something the other week about Mongolia. there's a show I like in the UK called Race Across the World, where British groups, British couples have to race across the world. Literally, Mongolia. What does Forza mean? Does that say, is that like long live, or does that mean like for Italy? Is that like? Well, I probably would do that. I don't know how to set them up though. I do actually have that. I have an AFK button that I tick on, but sometimes I forget to tick it on. I have an AFK button that will come on when I click for it to. Yeah, what was I saying? Strength to Italy, okay. I mean, the UK has God Save the Queen, which I think is, I think it should be like Britain Stands or something. That would have been a great that would have been a great quote for like the Second World War. Imagine the banners be getting dropped over Germany. It's just a picture of Winston Churchill and it says Britain Stands. Britain Stands United. I like that. That's a great. What do you think, guys? I think that's a great quote. I think that's a great like slogan. What do you guys think? I think that's an amazing slogan. That's like a great campaign trail. Imagine a political party using that. Britain Stands United. I like it. Perhaps I should trademark that. Britain Stands United. I don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, suppose I said Mongolia. Mongolia has a really 30. What was it? Mongolia. 50% of Mongolia is 50% of the Mongolian population is under 30. Half the population is under 30. Which is just... that's crazy. That's like that's such a crazy like fact though, isn't it? Uganda, 75 to 78% of the population's under 30. Yemen, 50% is under 30. That's crazy. Yeah, I went on a residential trip when I was in year 6. I fucking hated it. I got lumped the shit out of. But that happens though. That happens though. Like, back in the day, countries just invaded other countries, and I guarantee it'll happen again in the future. I guarantee it'll happen again in the future. If resources, you know, if we start running out of resources, I guarantee it'll start happening again. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I went on a residential trip when I was in year 6. I hated it. People lumped the shit out of me. People lumped the shit out of me. I got booted. People lumped the shit out of me. It was fucking horrible. Yeah, yeah, this is a fun story, guys. Has anyone here ever been bullied? Right. Oh, shit. Everyone on here, have any of you guys ever been bullied? Of course. Yeah. So, I'm going to give you guys a story. So, gladly nether. Lucky. In the UK, when you're in year 6, you're 11. So, we were all going on this trip. We're all going on this trip, and this girl said I pushed her, and I hadn't. But all these people believed it, so people went around and kicked me about like I was a football. So I'm running away, and somebody come out and tripped me up, and basically they booted my foot out. So I went about 5 foot in the air, smashed onto the floor, and had a load of people jump on me. And a load of people jump on me, and it was painful as fuck. And, well, what was unfair as well, I had someone, the person that actually kicked my foot out was like a foot taller than me and probably about 100 pounds heavier. That is self-defense. You can't do self-defense if you've got about 20 people kicking you at the same time. Yeah, I was running. Honestly, I'm actually happy that I was skinny then. I'm kind of happy I was skinny then, because obviously I was fast. You know, I wouldn't have been able to run I wouldn't have been able to get away from anybody if like, a few years later. Yeah. Sounds like a movie scene. Oh yeah, it was. But I got away from a load of people that were trying to tackle me, and then basically someone that happened to just be like a foot taller than I was came in and just smashed smashed their foot into my knee. So when I was 11, I was like 4'7". When I was 11, I was like 4'7". We had another guy in my class that was like 5'7". So they absolutely smashed into me, and I basically got launched into the stratosphere. I got launched into the stratosphere, and I crashed in, and then I had someone sit on my head. I'm so glad they didn't fart. Yeah, but it's like, it depends what it is. Like, you know, bullying is a thing. Like, well, no, that was years ago. What was going on? Well, you know, people are mean. People are mean. That's the thing. Kids, when you're children, you don't understand other people very well. But also, what was more cruel about being bullied in that regard on the story I just said was the fact that it was on false information. The girl that said like I shoved her lied. I didn't. It could be worse. Yes, about 15 people jumped on me because apparently I pushed this girl over, which I didn't. I got absolutely... Oh, and then somebody tried to fight me and I sort of won. Guy in my school year that was just like a really cocky kid, he jumped on me and I just out-muscled him. Which was... it's the only fight I ever... It was the only time I ever sort of defended myself. And I proved I was stronger. Perhaps he wanted to know what it was like to be pregnant. I wonder what pregnancy is like. Here's a mini egg. Sorry. I probably shouldn't have made that joke, but... Oh. Could be worse. When I was in my first year of secondary school, a kid fell through a window. There was a trend where you would try and bounce across the walls. And basically this guy tried to do it and he missed, went over the countertop and straight through the window. Almost cut his jugular. He almost... I mean, that's just a normal thing. That's a normal thing, literally. That's a normal thing. Like, my sister doesn't like loud bangs. My sister cried and screamed watching Everton because when I went to Goodison Park and watched Everton take on Seville in 2017. My sister cried the whole time because of how loud the atmosphere was. Did I tell you I was autistic? I don't think you have, but I can kind of tell. I can kind of tell when people have it. I could sort of tell, Pixel King, when you mention computers. Because of how much you love computers, I could tell it was like a hyperfixation. And like how much you love computers. When somebody has autism, they have something that they generally love and love to talk about. And I sort of got the sense that you were when you're talking about computers and about how much you loved talking about it. Hello, how are you? I'm really good. You might have said, Pixel King, actually. You might have said on a stream. But yeah, I can tell, guys. I can tell sometimes. Hyperfixations. Yeah, kind of like it's kind of like hyper focus, that you're absolutely focused on something. Like, my younger sister has it to the point of that if you call her while she's playing her video game, if you wave your hand in her face, she won't notice it. She won't notice the hand. I jump from one thing to the next. Yeah. But yeah, on a bullying standpoint, like I was bullied a lot. But yeah, bullying's horrible. Like, when people are children, they don't care about the emotions of someone else. There was a guy who was in my school year. He's like 18, 19 now, I think. He was sorry, not in my school year, sorry. There was a guy who went to my school. I worked with him on a short film. And he walked over and said to me, he was talking to me, and he went to the same school I did, and he used to hang around with the year 11s when he was like year 7, which is a bit odd. And he said something to me. He goes, after you left, he goes, I looked back and realised how horribly they treated you. That's just, I mean, that sounds crazy. That statement. I mean, that is the craziest statement I've ever read on a. Well, I didn't read it out, but that's the craziest statement I've ever read. Oh shit, the bed's gone. But I can't leave because there's a creeper literally outside the window. Yeah. No one likes a creep. Yeah. Oh shit. But I think when you're in school, you know, you don't understand the people around you. You don't understand what people are going through. You don't understand what people are going through. So like there was a person who was in a year above me in school. There was a person that was a year above me in school. I just thought they were a bit odd. Yeah, there was a person who was in a year above me in school. I always thought they were a bit odd, like the way they walked and things like that. And the way they walked and the way their facial expressions were. It was 5 years later I found out that they were wanted to be transgender, and they got a transgender change. I said, you don't know what's going through people's heads. This person that they're now a woman, I just thought they were a bit odd initially. Yeah. But yeah, you never know what's going through someone's head. So there was a person who was a year above me in school. I found them a little odd, like how they walked and how their facial expressions were. 5 years later, I found out that they'd had a transgender change, and they were now a female. And then it was like, oh, so that was why they were the way they were. They were the way they were. But obviously, they couldn't get that change then. It's like, yeah, you don't know. When you're in schools, you don't know what people are going through. I mean, that's... But sometimes, though, that's not a good thing. I was in the room once having an interview, and then a kid walked in there. Hello, the young organist. Welcome to stream. But sometimes that's not a good thing, though. Egg. I was being interviewed once in a classroom for something, for like a report thing, and a kid walked in there, and he went, and the kids they gave him a. He walked in there, but why was he sent in there? And this room would normally be used to house people that are being disruptive, or they're overwhelmed. No, this is a Nintendo Switch version, and this kid walks in there. He'd not paid attention, got told off, so he'd crawled under a table. But yeah, you don't know what's going to going through someone's head. But like I said, that's why bullying's so harsh. Reminds me of the 360 version. That's because it was done by 4J. Both 360 version and the Switch version were done by 4J Studios. And then just daily drive it. Cool. I'm probably going to end the stream soon, guys, because it's almost 11 o'clock. I started streaming late today because I went to the cinema to watch The Mandalorian and Grogu before streaming. I liked it. Good film. Great storyline. I actually really liked it, guys. I think it was one of the better Star Wars films. Mostly a horror fan. Horror films? Horror films are good, but then sometimes they're overdone. Sometimes horror films are great, but sometimes they can be a bit cliche nowadays. Yeah. But the best horror film, in my opinion, is Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. Really love Sleepy Hollow. There is some good horror films actually out there. You have some weird ones, like Poor Things is classed as a horror film, which Poor Things was just weird. What else can I think of? Sleepy Hollow is a book. Sleepy Hollow is a book from the 1800s. It's about the Headless Horseman. The Headless Horseman goes to Sleepy Hollow. Ichabod Crane goes to Sleepy Hollow from New York to investigate a load of murders, and he's basically fighting a supernatural force called the Headless Horseman. It's a really interesting one. They know who the Headless Horseman is, but they don't believe it because it's like really scientific. Yes, I have. I mean, another one. What they should do a film on. Another one would be Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd's pretty good. I like the musical. I like the musical film Tim Burton did, but the musical film is great. There's a hole in the world like a great back pit, and it's filled with people who are filled with shit, and the scourge of the word inhabited, but not for long. Phantom of the Opera. I haven't. I've heard of it though.
There's a hole in the world like a great big pit, and it's filled with people who are filled with shit, and thus heard of the word inhabited, but not for long, but not for long. They all deserve to die. Tell you why, Mrs. Levitt, tell you why. There's only two types of men and only two. There's the one staying put in its natural place, and the foot and the other's foot and the other's face. Look at me, Mrs. Levitt, look at you. We all deserve to die. And now my Lucy lies in ashes. How about a shave? No one's in the chair. Come on, come on. Sorry, I'm singing Sweeney. I'm singing Epiphany now from Sweeney Todd. And I will get him back even as he gloats. In the meantime, I'll practice on this honourable throat. Sorry, that's Epiphany from Sweeney Todd. Johnny Depp sings it absolutely amazingly. Great films. They are good films. But yeah, Sleepy Hollow is amazing. Sleepy Hollow has such a good cast. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it out a sec. Sleepy Hollow has a really ensemble cast. It has a really good ensemble cast. Sleepy Hollow, Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, who plays Wednesday Addams in the films, Christopher Walken, Casper Van Dien, and who else? Miranda Richardson, Ian McDermott. McDermott. Hello, Red X. Yeah, Sleepy Hollow, guys, has such a good cast. Yeah, Johnny Depp, Christopher Walken, Christina Ricci, Casper Van Dien, Miranda Richardson, Ian McDermott. Ian McDermott played Palpatine in Star Wars. Christopher Lee is in it, who played Dooku. He played Dracula. He played Saruman, Lord of the Rings. Richard Griffiths, who played Vernon Dursley in Harry Potter. Who else? Michael Gambon, who played Albus Dumbledore. Michael Goth, who played Alfred in the Batman films, and who also played the Toymaker in Doctor Who. Who else is in it? There's quite a few like famous. There's a huge ensemble cast in that film. There's a lot. There is generally a lot of big names in that film. I am going to end this stream soon. I'm back. Welcome back. I am going to end the stream soon, guys, because it's literally 11 o'clock at night. Tomorrow's stream will be long-ish. I don't know when I'm going to start streaming tomorrow, guys, but I might start streaming a bit later tomorrow, guys, when it's warmer. There probably won't be a stream Sunday for a while because it's Everton's last game of the season. Everton are playing their last game of the season. The English Football League. The English football season finishes on Sunday. We are gonna do the realm. We are gonna do the realm on Sunday, just after 4 o'clock, because probably about 6, because Everton are on at 4 o'clock against Tottenham. So I really want to watch that. Plus, it's the last game of the season. I've watched practically every Everton game that's been on telly this season. I've practically not missed a game this season on telly, so I'm going to try and continue that. But then, guys, the World Cup starts, which I'm so pissed off because an Everton player that's been Everton's best player this season got turned down for a spot in England's team. I'm annoyed. I think he should have got there, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching this stream today, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.